Hometowns and Heroes. This week's Hometowns and Heroes takes place in Casa Grande. It's about 50 miles south of Phoenix, Arizona, right off Interstate 10. This week's hero, or should I say heroes, grew up right here in Casa Grande, and they produce some of the finest cotton in the world. Exiting on Florence, we take a left turn and we continue 7 miles. Crossing the freeway, I have to say, this really doesn't look much like farmland. This looks like a giant shopping center. As promised, after 7 miles, we make it to Caywood Farms. And this is where Rebecca takes over.
Do you know that some of the world's highest quality cotton is grown in Arizona? It's called Pima cotton, a superior blend of cotton. An extra long staple cotton, or ELS, was originally called American Egyptian, but was changed to be known Pima cotton to honor the Pima, Arizona tribe, who were growing this cotton for the U.S. Department of Agriculture in Sacaton, Arizona. This brings us to our current hometown heroes, the Caywood Farms family. Known for their years of cotton farming, the story begins back in 1948. Tommy Caywood married Sammy Darr, and together, along with cousin Jerry Storey, they leased and owned farmland in the town of Casa Grande, Arizona, and surrounding areas. Decades have now passed, and the two families have worked hard through it all, growing and supplying alfalfa, cotton, and other grains. In addition to being successful farmers, Tommy and Jerry and their families contributed their time to the city of Casa Grande, volunteering, serving the community on boards to aid the agricultural business and promote the city. Tommy also found time to serve in the USA as a member of the Navy during the Second World War. Now let's meet our hometown hero, Nancy Caywood, Sammy and Tommy's daughter and third generation of Caywood Farms. We take this time to salute Nancy for motivating and sharing her knowledge and love of farming with others, especially youngsters in the 4-H and FFA.
Hi, I want to welcome you to our farm. My name is Nancy Caywood, and we are a 5th-generation farm. This land was purchased in 1930 by my grandfather, Louis Storey. As a little girl, my father and my mother instilled such a love of agriculture, and I was passionate about it. And I told them I wanted to go into agriculture, and they said, it's not really ladylike. And so that was in '71. So I went to Arizona State University and I became a teacher. And my heart was in agriculture. So I went back and got a master's degree from the University of Arizona in agriculture education. And I hadn't been doing that for very long, teaching out at the Maricopa Ag Center, and I got offered a really fun job working for the University of California Desert Research and Extension Center, and my job was to start an agricultural education program on a research farm. So I lived and worked on a research farm for 15 years. My son wanted to farm in the worst way, and he told my dad that. My dad put him on a tractor, and Travis kind of caught the farming virus, and he loves it. So he started farming this farm probably in about 2000. He also is a paramedic and a battalion chief for the Eloy Fire Department. So he farms this farm and works at the Eloy Fire Department. Casa Grande used to be cotton farming. Alfalfa, wheat, a lot of vegetables used to be here. And then we had started having water issues. So a lot of the vegetable companies moved out of here, and there's not too many vegetables here anymore. It's mostly cotton. We're a small family farm. My son does lease other land, but we want to keep our farming going. We love it. We farm cotton and alfalfa. We have a lot of dairies and feedlots around here. Beef cattle is one of the #1 crops around here. And so there is a demand for hay, and so we grow alfalfa. I'm trying to get more and more involved with FFA and offering programs out here, and also I'll help them. My daughter-in-law is a teacher for the FFA program, and my granddaughter is she's a first-year FFA member. However, there are a lot of kids that are taking FFA because they want to learn about it. They want to learn the careers. The thing about agriculture is it's not necessarily on the farm. That's a nice perk if it is, but a lot of it's in an office, writing computer programs, drone pilots. There's a lot of technology in agriculture, so it's not just farming. It's not irrigating, driving tractors. There's a lot of technical jobs available in agriculture. A lot of people come here and they don't think of cotton, and they see these cotton fields and they go, what is this? And so they're curious about it, and that's why we started education about cotton. Our tours are pretty much on demand. I put up a schedule on our website, caywoodfarms.com, and then people can sign up online or they can call me directly. So I'm doing tours sometimes 4 to 5 days a week. And we have a classroom right in there, and I have a PowerPoint put together. And the PowerPoint program is got water, drought, cotton, alfalfa, how cotton is grown, how it's harvested, and how it's ginned, how it's classified, and we'll talk about yields as well. When we get done with the PowerPoint program, we're going to go over and see the cotton picker and module builder, and then from there we're going to go out to the field where they're going to get to pick some cotton and see our alfalfa. We also have some nice history on this farm, and I'll be talking about our history.
Everybody is getting acquainted and gathered, ready to begin the first part of today's tour, the PowerPoint presentation.
I was inducted into the Arizona Old Time Fiddlers Hall of Fame in about 2015 or 16. I'm proud of that honor. And I'm going to play 2 songs. One of them is called Bile 'em Cabbage Down, Boys, Turn 'em Hoe Cakes Round. And you're welcome to be my rhythm system and clap along with me. Here we go. Thank you. So start pulling on that Pima cotton and compare it to the fibers on the upland. Can you tell the difference?
What's the first
Whoops.
one? Sorry, I'll get it.
Here you go. The first is upland cotton, and this is called Pima cotton.
You'll probably know a lot more about cotton than you ever thought you would after this presentation. Part 1 of the tour is over, and now the group heads out on the farm to see and hear about the cotton picking machinery and the cotton module builder. Listen.
So this is the part of the picker that picks the cotton. The spindles, the brushes, and the doffers. The cotton falls to the bottom, and it's blown right into the picker.
Next, Nancy asks everyone to join her inside a module builder as she explains more.
And the module will weigh about 15,000 pounds. So what happens is this is the ram right here. So once the ram, we start working it right when there's enough cotton in to start packing it, go back and forth and back and forth. And as the cotton picker's out in the field, the ram continues to work. Are we ready? Hang on tight. Try to maintain a clean yard. The other thing we try to keep is our fields clean. We don't want weeds. We don't want them to get a hold of us. Plus, we have to have our soil looking like it's ready to plant for the preventative planting program.
This is the really fun part. Everybody's getting up close to the cotton in the field with Nancy.
Okay.
So would you like one?
Oh, he's got one.
Smell it.
Figure out how to open it.
Smells delicious in there. It's just nice. So it's kind of an earthy smell. Would you like to? Yeah, you can just pass them down and smell it. It's really good. We have the yellow flower. This yellow flower is going to turn a purplish color, and then it's going to shrivel up and fall off the plant. And when it does so, there's going to be a tiny little cotton boll underneath it that's going to grow and grow and grow all summer. So if I open this up, it has a really nice smell, and the pieces come out in segments like an orange. This is what has the seed in it, so this is the fruit of the plant. Now, when these open up, the seeds will eventually become hard, and this is a mature boll of cotton that's been opened. So this is our alfalfa. This is what we sell to dairies and feedlots. Anyway, as I said, we cut this every 28 days. So when my granddad built this farm, he decided to build a migrant camp. And instead of doing his out of stick or boards, my dad and my granddad and his cousin Jerry built these little houses. So he would take an old trailer and go down to the reservation south of Casa Grande and hire people to work for him. They lived in these houses. They would plant cotton. Usually you could grow cotton 2 years. You didn't have to take it out because we didn't defoliate. And they would pick cotton. Then they'd go back to the reservation and they might come back the next year. They would make beautiful baskets for my grandmother. And then she would buy baskets as well. So she got a wonderful basket collection. I worked with 2 teachers who grew up on migrant camps, and both of them said that was the best years of their life. And they would do things together, and she loved it.
Hi, I'm Carol Firestone. I'm from Ahwatukee Foothills Friends and Neighbors group, and we came down to Caywood Farms today for our Explore Arizona trip. I would recommend this to anyone, any age group. It was way more than any of us anticipated it would be.
I came down to take this tour with my wife and our neighborhood group and enjoyed it very much. I had no idea that this went on in Arizona or how it went about. It makes me think very much of the way they used to handpick cotton back in the early 1900s and 2000s and the mechanisms that have come about since that time.
My name is Peggy Taylor. I brought a group here from Ahwatukee, AFAN, Ahwatukee Friends and Neighbors. We came to see about cotton because Arizona is known for its cotton, and we came to see what it's all about.
It's very interesting. Nancy put a lot of effort into it. She was very informational about everything that happens on the farm. I realize now what a difficult life it is, really. A lot of hard work and not always for a lot of reward.
I would like to wrap this up by saying if you eat or wear clothes, you are involved in agriculture. And there are people that say if you're naked and hungry, you're not involved in agriculture. So agriculture, we need it so desperately in our world, and we need to slow down on development and think about where our food and fiber come from. Okay, my name is Nancy Caywood with Caywood Farms, and I want to proudly introduce my mom and dad. This is Tom Caywood, Sammy Caywood, and my dad's cousins. There's Ida Storey and Jerry Storey.
Tommy, you can start out and tell us, how did you meet Sammy?
That's going to be interesting.
Was it,
oh boy.
if you've been together a long time, were you a farmer when you met her? Or tell us how you got going in farming, and then bring it into how you met Sammy.
Well, I was fresh out of the Navy, and after spending about 3.5 years in there, and I was at Jerry's house, and we were just visiting, and I was telling him that, darn, I used to go with a gal here in Casa Grande, but she's not here anymore, and I just was looking for somebody, and Jerry said, well, I know of somebody I'd like for you to meet. I said, well, good. So he called her up, and it was Sammy, and he talked to her for minutes and told her, he said, no, I don't think, I don't want Ida to know about this too much, or I didn't want to put this, I told Sammy there that he was married, and he didn't want Ida to think he was stepping out on her, but he did want to introduce us over the phone. So he handed me the phone, and I started talking to Sammy, and we visited for a real good while, and I made a date then with her to go out, and we went out a few times, and after that, and
a few months later, we were married.
Yeah, we've been married a little over 70 years now, so I think it's going to work out.
70 years, boy. Sammy, was he a farmer when you met him? Was he growing cotton?
Yes, he was a farmer. And he had just bought a brand new tractor, and oh, he was so proud of that tractor. And on our first date, we'd gone over to Coolidge to a movie, and on the way back, we went over to this desolate farm. It was way out in the boondocks. I didn't know where we were, and I was scared to death. I thought, oh, man, I'm going to start walking home. I don't know which way I'm going to go. And but he showed me his tractor. He was a gentleman, and brought me home. He was just really proud of that brand new tractor.
What year was that, Sammy and Tommy?
1947. So when Tommy was out of the Navy, he came back home, and he was going to go back down to the university. And they got started farming. They started working on the farm instead. Jerry did the same thing after he got out of the Navy. And they started helping their fathers, which Lewis was telling me stepfather, and J.R. Storey was...
They were Storey Brothers was there. They went by the name of Storey Brothers, and they had 2 or 3 farms around.
Well, let's meet Ida and Jerry now, and then tie it together here, how you got going with farming together.
We met in high school. We met in geometry. And I knew if I could get him through geometry, we'd get through anything. And it's the truth.
She was 15 and I was 16, barely.
Are you about the same age as Tommy? Or are you...
No, I'm
younger.
A whole lot younger.
But you got together with Tommy and decided to farm together.
His mama's new husband was my dad's brother.
Your uncle.
My uncle.
Uncle Lewis.
And that's the way we got together.
Okay, and what was farming like back then? Was it just, were there houses anywhere, or what was it like here in Casa Grande then?
Was the highway paved out there?
No, I don't think, no. There was
the
old
highway
dirt
was
road
paved
going over.
probably around 39.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Everything east of Brown when we first built this house was all desert, all the way out to Treacle Road.
Yeah, from Treacle Road out, wasn't it?
Then on.
Yeah, when we were in high school, the town ended right there, except for the Evergreen
For the high
District.
school. They grow a much finer grade of cotton here due to the dry weather. It's a finer grade and a much better cotton. We're very proud of the cotton they grow here in Arizona. And we do not want it to rain on it, and so that's why
Never
we have
rains at the right time for a farmer.
excellent grades of cotton.
Japan wanted all of our cotton. They really worked to get our. We had such good staple length, and the whiteness of the cotton was very above the southern.
So one of the reasons that Arizona was so good is that it didn't rain that
That's
much.
right. That's right. It was dry. It was made beautiful white cotton.
You're looking at a lot of history right here, and through the years they've all had their contributions to agriculture, and they've been awarded. My parents just received a beautiful award from Arizona, or from Pinal County Farm Bureau, and in 2 weeks they're going to go up and receive a state award for the Heritage Award for Farm Bureau. Yeah, how about that? But my dad and mom went out and mapped a whole bunch of wells back in the 70s, and they were responsible for getting Electrical District Number 1 formed over in Stanfield, and he was the first president, and they have a substation named after them, and it helped reduce the water prices. Ida worked for the CS office, the soil conservation, and she gave out allotments for cotton, how much you could plant. She knew every cotton grower in this county. And Jerry was so active, and my mom's so active with agriculture, and it was just a good life for my sister and I, my brother, and Jerry Lynn and Lewis and Klein. It was just a good life. We have great memories, and it's these 4 people. I want to thank Arizona Farm Bureau and American Farm Bureau for all the training they've given me so that I can go out and advocate for agriculture. I got to go to women's boot camp in 2014. They chose 15 women across the United States, and I was one of them. And so it was some really intense training on how to talk to media and do, the radio and newspaper interviews. And then 2 years later, they sent me back for grassroots outreach training. There were 7 of us that went back so we could learn how to speak with Congress and senators and representatives and staffers and lobbyists. And so we went through some really intense training, and I use my skills every day when I do farm tours. I also go to Arizona Ag Night, and I'm available to speak anytime Farm Bureau may call on me.
Well, thank you for being with us on Hometowns and Heroes. I hope you enjoyed the show just as much as we enjoyed putting it together for you. And if you have a hero in your hometown, please let us know about him or them, and we'll see what we can do. Until then, let's make this world a better place.
And I said, suck it up, Cupcake.
Join us again next time to hear another inspiring story featuring our next hometown hero. If you have a hero in your hometown, let's give him a hand.